Hey everybody, Chris here. So Dogecoin has been showing some great market resilience here. Is Doge setting up for a huge rally? We're going to explore that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. I'll be live again Wednesday at 4 o'clock p.m. East Coast time, so join in. We'll not only be following up with the day's news and what is going on with Doge and crypto, but also again, looking forward more to the Bitcoin conference and what is going on there. But now we have some chart setups that we're going to be taking a look at, as well as the latest news. Let's get into it. I'll show you what I'm looking at. We'll start here looking at the Dogecoin chart and the recovery overnight after a dip below 13 cents. But Doge has generally been following still my July price prediction around 13 cents. So that's still in play, although I, of course, would much prefer Doge to be higher, back over 14, 15 cents and higher. But that is what Doge is still doing. But the market resilience is strong. And look, Doge is still the number 8 cryptocurrency right here. $19.3 billion total market cap, holding well. Still over 6% positive over the past 7 days. Trailing only Solana, which is up 10 over the past 7 days. But Bitcoin's only up 2%, and ETH is actually down slightly because of a recent drop in anticipation of more grayscale ETH ETF selling. We'll get to that in a minute. But Dogecoin still has a 0.88% correlation with Bitcoin going on. So Doge is still generally following Bitcoin, but when we see big dips in Bitcoin, generally Dogecoin dips a little bit harder. We saw that, but then recovers a little quicker. So that's why we see this plus 6.5% here for Doge over 7 days, and Bitcoin only 2% because it's recorrelating back up with Bitcoin. So that overall is what's going on. But ETH ETFs shine on day one. 107 million net inflows for ETH ETFs, but there was a big outflow of the grayscale futures as expected, but the inflows were more than the outflows overall, looking at all of the 9 ETH ETFs. But the Bitcoin ETF saw negative, in other words, more outflows, because maybe there was some rotation going on from Bitcoin to ETH, because a lot of investors like to be diversified. So maybe they were taking some out of Bitcoin and putting in ETH. Hard to say that. We don't really know for sure. But ETH ETF, we'll see what happens on day 2, whether there's more grayscale selling going on. I'm anticipating yes, that is still going to continue. But we'll see whether the ETH ETFs can continue to see the interest showing, again, nowhere near as much interest as we had with the Bitcoin ETFs back in January. ETH, of course, is a much smaller asset than Bitcoin and is not really well known outside of our crypto bubble that we live in. But that's what's going on with the ETFs. We got the Bitcoin conference coming, and now is Kamala Harris going to be talking at the Bitcoin conference as well? We already know that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is going to talk, and Donald Trump is going to talk. And now, I don't know whether this is coming from the Bitcoin conference side reaching out to the Harris team, or whether it went the other way, because we know someone on the Harris team reached out to Mark Cuban to ask about crypto, because Kamala probably has had nothing to do on the crypto side, but now they see this big voting block, right, of crypto holders that are very upset with the Biden administration, and she and her team are doing some research and looking at this. They're like, maybe they need to do something here. Of course, it is all politics, and are they just wooing the Bitcoin voters and they're really not going to do anything? I mean, that could be on the Trump side too. We have no idea. But we are anticipating these talks and see what they say, because this is going to be big. So we'll be talking more about that on the live stream on Wednesday afternoon. But look, a former and potentially future president of the United States will speak at Bitcoin 2024. This is a massive sea change. Several parts of the US government have been very antagonistic to blockchain for way too long. I've never understood why be negative. Who is the negative voter? I mean, apart from Elizabeth Warren, who's of course, in bed with the banks, who's voting against financial inclusion for everybody on earth with a smartphone? 93 million Americans own crypto and they vote. So, and we had this ETH ETF that months ago nobody thought was going to happen. And now they're trading. They're actually trading now. So it is incredible in the United States how this shift is happening, and we could see it more on the political side as well. So we will be watching that. Look, Bitcoin, Dogecoin. Overall, there was a retreat yesterday. Fears about the Mt. Gox payouts. And we know that transfer is happening to Kraken and other exchanges who are custodying that Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash on behalf of Mt. Gox now, and then doing the payouts from there. But so far, it looks like a lot of it is being held and isn't just being sold from what we see from the data. But we also see the derivative markets. And again, you guys have heard this from me before many times, but a significant wave of liquidations over the last 24 hours. Approximately $183 million derivatives contracts were liquidated, nearly 80% of these being on long positions. This forced liquidations, long bets contributed to a drop in Bitcoin's open interest by 2.5%, highlighting the bearish sentiment among traders who had previously held long positions, meaning they're not reopening leveraged positions. Because we look at these, on CoinGlass, we look at these real-time liquidations and we see there's a Bitcoin one at 66,600, $2 million. And that was on the short side. That was earlier this morning. Price pumps up a little, takes out a short. But that was after already taking out long positions at a lower price. So again, this is price action going up and down, taking out the shorts, taking out the longs, because they don't want you to win on these leveraged positions. That's what this is about. Dogecoin traders should be on the lookout of this support level. What are they looking at? Well, they're looking at 12.8 cents. 12.8 cents seems to be a key line. If Doge drops below 13 cents, again, we saw overall back near the end of March that Doge had reached 22 cents level, has seen a significant pullback from there, and it has struggled all the way down to 12.8 cents. Now, we did see some dips, of course, July 4th, dropped down lower, but that 12.8 level, once it reclaimed that, seems to be key level tied in with the RSI, the MACD, and this 200-day EMA, all rallying around that level. So any close below 12.8 could delay any near-term recovery prospects. This is important because Doge shares a 93% 30-day correlation with BTC. According to them, they're at 93. That's more than the 88 I had from my other source. And on the derivative side, yeah, this was the 88 right there. On the past 24 hours, that's it right there. That's the long-short ratio, sorry. So there's more short positions than long ones. So there still seems to be some negativity in the market with more short positions. So let's squeeze them out. Let's see a run. Let's see that happen. July 7% rally has Doge targeting 25 cents in 2024. So we do see Dogecoin and crypto up for the month still on the monthly. And what these price targets are, where this rally is going to go to, have varying levels that we've seen. And this one is looking towards this 25-cent target for Doge. But we'll see. overall, there is potential still for retrace always. And there's still a lot of bears out there. One yesterday, I saw in the comments like Doge is dead, but there's still room for turnaround at 14 cents. So we'll be watching that. Again, the RSI levels, the MACD crossover that has already happened, and we'll see looking for it to go higher. Doge is also showing market resilience, and Doge has been holding strong. Again, this 13 cent seems to be good support, down to 12.8 on dips. That's what we'll be watching. We'll look more at this in detail during the live stream on Wednesday afternoon. Again, looking at the RSI, the MACD. RSI is right around 50. They got a 57 now. It's drifting down a little lower while I'm recording this. But overall, I mean, Dogecoin's still holding strong, so showing that resilience. World of charts is like, look, overall, we're looking toward this bullish wave, back toward 30 cents in the coming weeks, reclaiming 22 cents and then moving up from there is what World of Charts is looking at. And Kev Capital says, hey, look, when you zoom out and you're looking at the weekly, we are getting closer to that golden cross on the weekly. Big golden cross on the weekly, 2 to 3 weeks away. Again, like I said before, I think it's more than that. And if we look at the Dogecoin chart and we go to the weekly, I can show you on my chart. This is, again, the big wedge waiting for breakout toward the end of August. Because we had this dip down to 10 cents, it slowed down that move of that 50-week moving average, which was getting closer to the 200-week moving average. But that acceleration has slowed down because of the dip we saw earlier in July. So this is going to extend out. And if we don't see an increase in the price of Dogecoin anytime soon, this is going to continue to lag probably into September before we see that golden cross. So still a ways out there. But overall, I mean, this is still my chart. 13 cents for the end of July, and August just gearing up for this huge breakout, huge rally coming, just like we saw a year ago. Same thing. We saw this big wedge shape. We saw that happening. This is the accumulation time before a big rally. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about upcoming Dogecoin rally? Are you still accumulating? Give the video a like if you haven't already. Please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.